What's up everybody, this is Bruce, aka Geektacular, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the brand new Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Player's Handbook. So this is actually the first core rulebook to come out for D&D 5e, there will be obviously all the regular ones coming after this, the Dungeon Master Guide, the Monster Manual, all that stuff. That's coming in the coming months. The only 5e product before this was the starter set, which I also have, but that only has like a 30, I think it has maybe a 32-page Player's Handbook. Maybe it's 64, I can't remember. But it's very short, and it's just kind of a little stapled together thing. This, of course, is the big honkin' full Player's Handbook here. So I thought I'd give you a quick look at it, in case you haven't picked one up yet. So I'll go ahead and show you the art here. Here's the front cover. Mine came unsealed, so I don't think it comes in plastic or anything like that. So here's the artwork. There's everything a player needs to create heroic characters for the world's greatest role-playing game. Yeah. So, the front of it is glossy. You can kind of see it there. This whole front is all glossy. So, let's look. Here's the side here. Again, the side is also, if I can get it to focus properly. There we go. The side is also glossy. Player's Handbook, and I think that this just came out today or maybe a day or two ago. So, and then this is how thick it is. So this is kind of like my index finger here. It's about as thick as probably my index finger is. Now we'll take a look at the back. Now the back is kind of interesting because this part of it, the art here, the orange art right there, this is actually glossy like the front and the side, but this whole part with the text on it is actually matte. It's like sort of a flat matte finish. It feels like it's probably like on top of the glossy print. So it's real weird. This side's glossy and then you move over and then this side's kind of like flat matte. And you can kind of see there with the reflection, it kind of goes from glossy to matte right there. So I'm worried about maybe the matte part getting scratched up, but maybe not. We'll see. So arm yourself for adventure. You can read all that stuff here. When you're ready for more, get the Dungeon Master Guide and the Monster Manual. The trifecta, the usual trifecta of good stuff. So it retails for $50, but I got it for significantly cheaper than that. I got it for about $30, I guess, new from Amazon. So we'll just go ahead, I'll just open it up and show you a few random things so you can kind of see how it's laid out. The inside is like a black mat. And then, let me see if I can, oh, here we go. So that's the art for the Player's Handbook. For the very first page. And then on the cover, it's illustrated by Tyler Jacobson. It's the Fire King Snorer, whatever his name is. Anyway, so this is the contents, and this will probably show you most of what you need to know in terms of actually like what this includes. So it has a little intro section. Then it has it goes into detail on all the races. It looks like there's about 2 to 3 pages of detail for each race. Dwarf, elf, halfling, human, dragonborn, gnome, half-elf, half-orc, and tiefling. And actually the starter set, the book that came with the starter set, it didn't even cover most of this stuff because it had pre-made characters. So the starter set actually only had the pre-made characters that were included. It didn't even really give you much extra detail about extra classes that weren't included or extra races that weren't included and stuff like that. And also, it didn't have any rules about character creation at all because in the starter set, like I said, you didn't have to create characters, so it skipped all those rules. So these are all brand new for the full Player's Handbook, because obviously you use this to create new characters and stuff like that. So classes includes details and stats and specs and stuff for Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. Then it gives some more things about religion, stuff like that, kind of your extra character traits. And then a whole big section about, let's see, like 15 pages or so on equipment. Info about multi-classing, extra feats. Then part 2 is actually, so part 1 is all like character creation sort of stuff, character related things. Part 2, so that first part again is like almost 160 pages or so. Then part 2 is how to use ability scores, all the rules for calculating stuff, adventuring, combat. I'm assuming that also includes saving throws, all that. Yeah, saving throws, all that stuff. So part 2, which is about 25 pages or a little bit more, 27 pages, covers all of the rules in terms of adventuring, combat, calculations you might have to make, all that stuff. And then part 3 is all about spell casting. So all of your spell lists, descriptions of the spells, and actually how spell casting works. And then you have a few appendices here. So different conditions, information about the different gods, creature stats. There's probably just some basic creatures that you can whip out, and then just a few other things, and then a character sheet that you can use, kind of like a default one, basically. So I'll just flip through randomly. You can kind of see some of the art. It has a lot of really good art. Man, I love Dungeons and Dragons handbook art. Every edition, I love the art. It's just like so, just like right up my alley. It's just the sort of like fantasy kind of art that I really like. I love this crazy looking halfling here. That is awesome. Halfling looks insane. Like not like insane, like insanely awesome, just like insane, like weird and insane. So yeah, I won't show you everything, obviously. I'm just gonna quickly flip through here. So this is all just on the class section. So again, still lots of cool art. And let me show you the back here with the so these are like all the spell, this is the whole spell book back here with all the descriptions and casting times and components and all that good stuff. So, and then I'll show you, I'll skip past all this and I'll show you what the character sheet looks like at the end. So, I really don't know what good it's particularly going to do you sitting inside this book. Obviously, you can get this online and stuff like that. You could scan it and copy it yourself, I guess. But you can download this online and print it out, which is probably a lot easier. But I guess you could manually copy this if you really wanted to. Like, you can make a manual copy, or you can trace it, or I don't know, whatever. But they give it to you here. Place to keep all of your character backstory, and then a place to store all of your spells and stuff like that. And then what comes next? Level up your D&D with all kinds of other books. And then the back is black as well. So, that was my first look through of the player's handbook there. It looks really cool. I played with the 5e rules a couple weekends ago with some friends, and it actually worked out really well. I really like the new rule set. I think it strikes a good balance of complexity and flexibility, and also simplicity in that it's easy to pick up, and while there are still some, obviously calculations and a lot of rolling and stuff, it's more streamlined so that it's easier to understand and it's easier to kind of do on the fly. It doesn't really get in the way of the storytelling or anything too much. So I really like 5e. I think it's going to be good. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. So that's my sort of unboxing, even though it didn't come sealed at all, but that's my first look through the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Player's Handbook. If you guys like this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. That would be awesome. And if you like similar videos, if you like video game unboxings, board game unboxings, anime unboxings, all kinds of stuff, go ahead and click subscribe down below, and that way you'll get notified whenever I upload any new videos. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll check you next time.